Okay, so we are live, I guess. I will also check the drop frame, and now this time I'm using, what do I say? Using keys for streaming. So let's see if that works. Mm, okay, so currently there is a black screen. I don't know how it's going to happen. 21 seconds in the stream, 28 F, and I see a black screen. Again, let me check on my phone if I am live. Okay, now this time I see I'm working. Definitely, finally happening. Otherwise, I was so clueless why it is happening. So today we'll be solving some Leetcode problem that I was trying to figure it out today by myself. I usually wake up in the morning to do this traverse sheet. Currently, I'm at this progress, very less number of questions, but I see there is some consistency in it. So I reached to rearrange the array in alternate position, alternate positive and negative items. So I went to the problem, and the problem says there is a array that contains numeric values that could be positive, negative, and possibly a zero. So I will consider zero as a positive number because it does not contain a negative sign either. That's for my convenience. Otherwise, you can ask your interviewer as well if you want to consider a zero. Or better way, a safe way is to just consider it as positive number and be silent on that. Apart from that, I will say how to approach this problem. Correct. For example, if I show you this is an error, what you have to do, you have to just maintain the same sequence in which they are present. Suppose 3, 1, 2 is in, these are the positive numbers which are present in this array. And whenever you rearrange the positives and the negatives, you have to keep the same order for all the positive numbers so that the sequence, the positioning remains the same. It is not required to do this in place modification that is mentioned. You can do if you have a better approach. I will solve this problem with the intuition as well as I don't know what the solution is. I will just go through step by step and see what I think and how do I think and how to approach the problem with a solution. This is a medium level question. So see how I perform. Then what you have to do in the question, you have to arrange the positives and the negatives alternatively. Suppose first number should be positive, second should be negative, third should be positive, fourth should be negative, fifth should be positive, and sixth should be negative. Huh. So, and they should be occurring in the problem in the same sequence in which they are input. They are in input. So I was trying this problem and suddenly a thought came to let's solve this on a live stream. This question have an extension that helps you find out in which in which company this question appears. So this extension is telling me that this question appeared in Amazon. So that's a good point if we are able to solve this problem either by brute force and a better solution as well as I do not aim to be at optimal solution as I'm in the beginning phase. Now coming to a solution. I hope you have got what the problem actually is. You have to arrange alternate positives and negatives, starting with the positive element at the first position, and you have to place them in the same sequence as they appear in the question, in the input. So, what I firstly thought is just a boilerplate, nothing in the code I have done till now, and no submissions now as well. Hmm. So, what I thought, firstly, there is a complete brute force solution for this that you create two arrays, first of size n by 2, second of size n by 2, both of the same size, half half, because it is given in the question that there is equal number of odd and even positive and negative in the question in the array. So we will divide the positives and the negatives into separate array, keep inserted them in array with the same sequence. Suppose I will iterate over this array. If this is positive, add it to the positive array. If that is negative, add it to the negative array. So in this where we have the same sequence. Now, for creating the answer resulting array, we will iterate again for the length of this array, but now this time we will, if our I index is even number, then we will choose element from the positive array, otherwise the negative array. So this is very brute force solution. I don't think anybody would be convinced by this solution if you are in an interview. Otherwise, if you want me, I could code it. That's a simple solution, but I would like to go with a slightly better approach in which I do not have to use the space. Although the solution I've thought of is a O(n) solution for time complexity. So I've thought I will iterate one by one over the elements of this array, and at the same time, I will keep a track of the last positive and the last negative element. And when I will find them, and I will check if that element is at the right place, then it's okay. Otherwise, I will swap that element with the positive and the negative index of the element. Suppose I'm running a while loop over this array. Firstly, I will check if my suppose there are two pointer I and j, both are at zero index right now. So at zero index I have three, as well as at for I have three, for j am also at the same index zero. So when I start the loop, I will check. I will keep the positive elements track on the I and negative element track on j. So for example, 3 is at positive, so I will be here. I am running in a while loop. Then until I find another. So this is fine. Like I is at right place, so I will skip I to the next position. Now I will be at 1. Now, my did I connect? Oh, I connected too late. So now J comes here. I will go J will be at -2. Then I see that the position of J is not correct. The index is even and the number is negative. That should not be the case. Also for I, that is the same case. This should be negative. So I will swap these elements, and now I and j will again search for its next positive and the negative number. So as soon as I get on j, it is 1 now. So for I it is correct, for j it is wrong. So for j, I will increase it until I find the next element, which is at the wrong position. So let me try what I'm thinking. This is my intuition and my first thought, so I'm still confused with my approach. Let me start with INJ, keeping it. I don't know why I wrote that, but let's start. I less than equal to non-stop length. Same goes for J2. They won't exceed the numbers dot length. So I'll get I is equal to update positive index. So these are basic loops. I can do it the other way too. Without maintaining them local, I can maintain them globally. Current is no longer required. Now coming to your swapping element. So let me think a little bit. Firstly, I will call updating the index of both the positions. Suppose I is now here at the positive and J is here. So if I is at the correct position, I will increase its index. That will go to the next positive element. Until it is at the wrong position, you have to, okay, you have to find, what do I have to find? I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see. Let me think a little bit. Ah, Let me just check if the stream is going well. Stream current rate is lower than the recommended. I cannot do anything regarding that. Sorry. This is how my system works. Is there any audio? Currently, I'm at the, sorry. This is how my system works. Okay, nice. Is there any audio? Currently, I'm at the, let me check how much quality I'm getting at. Sorry. This is how my system works. Okay, nice. Is there any audio? Currently, I'm at the, let me check how much quality I'm getting at. Sorry. This is how my system works. Okay, now I'm in a infinite loop. Is there any audio? Currently, I'm at the, let me check how much quality I'm getting at. Maybe. Sorry. This is fine. Let's go back. Is there any viewer? No. That's fine. This is not for viewers. I'll update this, and this is just managing. See. Yes, it's 24,000. See. Yes, it's that 24,000. One concurrent viewer is me. See. Okay, let me think a little bit more. Firstly, I will go if that index is at wrong position, I will find the next wrong position of the negative element, and I will find the next negative element and swap it with this one. And then, okay, it's fine. Here, I mod by 2, double is equal to 0. That means that I is for positive numbers. So if this is so, then it is correct. If it is not, then it's wrong. Then I have to find the replace it with, swap it with J. So now I know that these two are swapped and they are at the right position. Then I will find the next swipe and J. I'll again update J. Okay, this should be negative. I don't need or I or J here. This is fine. I don't need to pass anything here because they are directly working in memory. Let's close this so that you can see the clear picture. Here, firstly, you get the first positive and the first negative of the array. So first positive and the first negative are these two elements. You got it for the first try. Then what you see, if I is at the right position or not. If I is at the right position, so you have to check if J is at the right position or not. That is also at the right position. I'm doing in JavaScript. You can do any language. That doesn't matter at all. Then if J is at the wrong position now, you have to swap elements. Keeping it M won't change anything. Also, I will increase it by M plus plus, maintaining a little bit of formatting. Nums M should be less than 0. That is okay. Uh, okay. Hmm. Firstly, I will get the first positive and the first negative index. That will be 3 and minus 2. Then if the index is, I will be at the first index. Okay. Now, it should be returning the indexes. Yeah, right. That is returning the index. And if nums I is not equal, okay, if I is the index of this element, this could be, suppose 3 and 1 is not here, then I will have two. Okay, suppose these two numbers are also negative, then 1, 2, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. Suppose, for example, looking at the second example, that is also. Okay, let me create one example for you. Now, suppose the first element here, the negative index, for example, for the first case, it would be j would be at, let me start with I would be at 1, j would be at 0. So, for the first time when this runs, and both of these conditions are satisfied, update positive number, update negative index would result I and j into this. Now, if I mod by 2 is not equal to 0, I mod by 2 does not is not equal to 0. That means that the index this index is not appropriate for the positive number. Positive number should be at an even index. So now what I have to do, I have to replace it with the next negative number. Next negative number. Note this out. It should be the next negative number. This will help you to retain the order of the input array. So now if I will swap the I with j, swap how I have written the swapping is here. That is a simple algorithm. Now if you do that, now the elements in first iteration would be 1, comma minus 3, and rest of would be the same. Now if you update the index again for the negative element, because you have put the positive index in the right position. So now j would be the index of the next element. Now j currently was at 0. Now you have to, when you do this now, when you swap the elements, so now j would be your I, right? I position 2 you have replaced j. I should do this in the same function, right? Let temp index is equal to I. Now if I place I is equal to j, j is equal to I. Now we have the current indexes of the positive and the negative numbers. Now next time when you update positive and negative, you will get the next positive and the negative numbers. So you can do this either way. You can call both of these update index functions. Now if you need to, you can just go with this. This is right. Now let me explain you how this is working. You can, we know that there's absolute pairs of positive and the negative numbers. So we don't have to worry about, if we are even able to solve for the positive numbers, the negative numbers are automatically solved. Then now suppose if this is the array and we are, okay, let's understand with the test case 3, 1, minus 2, minus 5, 2 and minus 4. So suppose now just close this function. If there is anything wrong in this function, we will identify it later. But we know the block level of this function, what they are returning. Update positive index is updating the I with the next positive index, and this is updating the next j with the negative element, negative element. Then the current I and j. Apart from these, current index of I and j. And that was a lag. I was not doing it. So now when you iterate with I and j now, so you are getting the first positive and the first negative numbers. Let us start with -1 for the first level. Now, what issue I saw that if you put 0 at the both positions, suppose your first index is positive number, then update positive index will increase it to 3 to the next positive element, that is 1. So you won't be considering the first element in any case. So let's start with -1, that you are considering none of the element as positive or negative. So when you update this, at first you will get I is equal to 0, j is equal to 2. That's it, right? 2. Now, if you check if one of these is either at the right position or not. So in my case, I is at 0. That is the correct position of this element. Then we have to do nothing. Okay. Else, if j mod by 2 not double is equal to 0. So this is the case when your j negative element is not at the right position. So you need to, if positive is at the right position, then you don't have to touch the positive number. You have to find the next positive number now. So update positive index, and now you have the next positive element which you have to replace. Suppose at first there was nothing, but j was at the wrong position. I was here. Now I is after line number 40. I is 1 at 1 and j is there. So I will now swap these elements. So swap element with I and j. That's it. So now both of these at right positions. Now you do have to increase your I and j after this. You don't, because now your I would be at j. Then do I have to return something? Rearrange j? No. I guess no. I guess no. Or do I? Or do I have to? I don't know. Return nums. That's it. Because I am modifying the same array. Now 3. Then I have 1 here. Now I is at j, so that is the index for I, and j was also here. And so j should be okay. That swap element is doing this thing for me. I do remember it. Yes. So we are index swapping the indexes also. Ideally, we should not. Ideally, we should not do it because let me tell you what will happen. If you are having a negative element here and a positive element here, and now you are suppose you are swapping -5 with 1, and you have an intermediate element here also. See, then now you swap 5 is 1, so your negative index now would be downgraded to -5. This would be your whatever the number was. Then now positive and negative are here. Your positive index is updated to 1. So now the next time you will be swapping these from these positive elements from this subarray. You will be ignoring these 3. So you don't have to update the indexes. You have to just, if that is decreasing, then you have to update the index by 1. Otherwise, you can, if it is increasing, you have to increase it by 1 if you are decreasing that. Okay. Okay, you don't need to do this. You think of your own solution. Yeah, why are you just relying on me? Idiots. Okay, my bad. I did something. Mm, 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 mm. 1, 2, 3, 4. I should add 3 as well. No, it's fine. Test case is fine, not the solution. I don't know. Still, the test case is having some problem. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is right. Where it is wrong. Now is it right? No. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, right? See how many times I have to do the same thing. Okay, update positive index is not defined.
रोज एक मौका पाइए
Mountain Dew Special Entry Pack. डर के
Okay,
आगे
you
जीत है.
guys won't be enjoying the music along with me because so many YouTube ads there. But I am happy with these YouTube ads that I'm updated with what's marketing going on. I am limited exceeding because none of the ING are being updated to the back limit. Okay, that will go easier for some that you can to enjoy the music. Later. I don't want my first day and my account to be blown out. When you swap the elements now, just do I plus plus or I minus minus either. Why is it going exceeded 10? What should I console? I now see. You cannot because it is a TLE error. It will be continuously running on the server. But still I got it. Okay, so guys, 4 to 4 to 4 to 4 to 4 to. For which test case this is? Probably this is for the first one. 0, 1, 2 minus 3, 4, 2, 2. So let's try and code. Minus 3, minus 2 is the first positive and the first negative element which I got. These were not at the right position because I not is equal to 0, mod by 2 not is equal to 0, I is 1. Now swap these elements, so finally this will be 1 minus 3 minus 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 minus 4. Okay. Now next step is if j is at the wrong position. No, it won't be because we already swapped the element. J mod by 2 double is equal to 0. J was earlier at the wrong position. So let's do this else. So that is it. Now for next time we will again update the next positive and the next negative number after these two indexes. So I and j were earlier. So now let me explain you again with a new example. This time we will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then minus 6, minus 7, minus 8, minus 9, minus 0, minus 10. Okay, so comma, comma, comma. Okay, so first positive and the first negative indexes are here. I mod by 2 not is equal to 0, that's a fine position. Then if j mod by 2 is double is equal to 0, so that is the index 5. That is also correct. We don't have to do anything. Now if we go at this index and minus 7, this will be I and j for now.
Now I is not at the right position, right? So we will swap these elements I and j. So now your I would be -7 and j would be 2, right? Then you have swapped it. Now you will update the next negative and the next positive number. So your I and j were here. So these two indexes is already solved. So now you will find the next positive and the negative. So again, this is the right position. For 4, it would be -9, and for -9, it would be 4. So now coming to next, that is 5. You don't even need to run it to the next step, but anyways. Now, what we'll do, we'll mash this incremented by this. I and j are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. J is at 10 minus 2, that is 8. So this condition satisfy, updating the next positive in the next element, that is 5 and -10, right? So that is at the right position, I guess. Huh? This is not going to be valid, this is not going to be valid. Then your position is for now next and next. So see, update positive index will run and you won't find the next positive or the next negative element. Then you should return -1. Okay, I will do a minus return just for the exit condition. If any of this A or B, A double is any of them is negative, then break it. That's it. Now you have exited your loop too. Finally, if I am able to solve this is a good solution. This is a good solution. This is, I guess, n square, but still I'm getting 4222 is still going on. For what case? Last executed is this one, 3, 3. Let's try this. If we are getting the right indexes, that's also fine, huh? So firstly, we are getting the indexes of the first positive and the first negative element. Our I is -1. That should not be the case. But it should not be the case. You're right. Why is it -1? But later it converted to 1. So for now, for a little bit, we will skip this and see what's happening. So लगदा हुसन तेरा साबदा. I love peaches, I love you. We got A and B as the next. Again, it is a TLE because it is taking too long to run the fur. The fur. Every time it is undefined. Why is it so? Okay, we are not getting -1 in any case. We are not even reaching this place for updating the indexes. I'm always using I plus 1 still. Let's see why is it happening. Okay, let's just try to figure it out why is it -1 at the first place. So I and j both are -1 at the first place. Then we call the function update positive index. So this comes for m is equal to I plus 1, that is 0, 2, the whole array until that number is positive. If that number is positive, then you have to return it. So your I update has stopped there. So it was at 0. At 0, you found out that number was even, like that was positive number. So you retained it. Now at the first place, I should be, obviously, it should be 0. Why it is not updated? Okay, now it will work fine. Did you guys realize where the problem was? Suppose your first element is what you are expecting, that is positive. Then if you go, it would be starting from 0. Okay, that's right, absolutely right. But what will happen? It won't update it. The function you got it. -1 because this will run after the body is executed. Fine, we are over the problem of wrong indexes and our answer is wrong. That's not a big deal, but we will find out the solution for that also. So this is what I was talking about. We will go to the intention, how you think, how I think exactly. So anyone who is here for the direct solution, and if you have a lot of time, like you are not doing anything and you just want to relax and see something, yeah, let's see how thing happens, how other things, then this stream is for you. Otherwise, please leave. I don't want to use anything, but you do not need to be here if you are not using your time wisely. Um, okay, so what happened here? Let's see. Our numbers were indexes were 1 and 0. That is wrong. That is insanely wrong. Our first negative element is at index 1, but I'm getting it at 0. So let's see if anything is wrong with this too. Let's see in all cases this happening. Expected, where is the standard output? Okay. I'm not getting a standard output at all conditions. -3, it should be 0 for the first negative element, but you are not getting it for the first negative element, you are getting it for the first positive element. What the heck is happening? Is it not updating at all? First positive element should be at 0, first negative element should be at 1, but I'm getting it the opposite way. Update positive is with I, that's right, I'm updating I everywhere. For negative it's J, that's cool. Then what's happening wrong? If I is at the wrong position, I is the positive element, we are again updating both the indexes. For negative element, we should also update both the indexes. Or you don't need to update any. That's also not going to change anything. For the positive index, I would be now 0. M would start from I, J would also start from J. No, that's the right thing. That is what I was missing. So see, you have to see things like that. Why is it right? I just need to think this. Why? So let's see why is it wrong. We will be able to find it faster. Firstly, we got the first positive index that is 1, then we got the first negative index that is 0, that is absolutely right in here. Then what we did first was I is mod by not is equal to 0, that is correct. We will swap the I and J. In swap element, we are just swapping the elements, so that's correct. Now this would be okay. We will go step by step. That would be 1 comma minus 3 and so on. Now 1 comma minus 3 would stay as same as intact. Now new values will be updating. Now next update positive and update negative would have values. Negative would have, that is j would have index 2, j would have, should have index 2, but I got 1. Okay, that is the point, right? You could have swapped the negative element with the, what did it? Suppose you swapped these interchangeably. Now your j was here, but the next element it would find again it would be j here, right? Okay, so update positive and update negative should return the elements which are minus 3 minus 1 3 हो जाएगा. This will be 1 3. Now your I and j would be at the same position as they were earlier. So when you start searching for the next positive element, suppose your 1 is not here, your 1 is very apart, your first positive element is very apart, so you is very apart, so your next element again would search for the same index. We are trying to find out the first positive and the first negative from the beginning, see, but we have to maintain the order also. So if your first positive, first negative is here and the first positive is here, and you switch them interchangeably, but your first negative, second negative was here, so you shifted minus 3 to here, so you have already changed the sequence for their existence. So this is where the solution is wrong. I am still sticking to this solution. Let's see until we find out the right solution. So I do not have to interchange them. I really picked up a hard problem. Let's solve it later. Let's solve it later. Huh? Sorry, guys. Add a stream marker. What is that? Okay. What is a highlight video? Do I need? Okay.